What does a person do with their free time? Have you ever wondered why we spend so much time at work, dreaming of being home relaxing, only to find ourselves less satisfied at home than we are at work? Why do we dream of leisure, of having nothing to do, no responsibilities, no deadlines, no pressure, etc., only to feel less satisfied than at work? One argument to explain this phenomena is that we respond well to structure and that free time is an unstructured activity. Free time is something that requires effort to shape into something enjoyable, to shape into something that is to be enjoyed. That's the argument that Dr. Mihaly makes in the book Flow on pages 162 to 163. Now, there are all kinds of factors at play that influence what we enjoy and what we do not enjoy. And the argument that free time is unstructured is just one factor in a very nuanced discussion, but it is a factor that deserves the merit of some focused attention. And so in this video, we're going to spend a few moments giving wasted free time the attention that it deserves. To start, why do we get so much enjoyment out of watching professional athletes, musicians, and artists on TV do an activity instead of doing the activity ourselves? Or do we only perceive that we get more enjoyment from watching rather than doing? The evidence on flow, happiness, and human psychology is heavily in favor that we only perceive enjoyment while watching instead of doing. But under the surface, there is an underlying tension of emptiness that sprouts from boredom and lack of challenge. As Dr. Mihaly would put it, we do not run risk acting on our beliefs, but occupy hours each day watching actors who pretend to have adventures engaged in mock meaningful actions. Watching actors who pretend to have adventures engaged in mock meaningful actions. But this is only a mask. Dr. Mihaly goes on to state, this vicarious participation is able to mask, at least temporarily, the underlying emptiness of wasted time. The underlying emptiness of wasted time. But it is a very pale substitute for attention invested in real challenges. Attention invested in real challenges. Now, the entire book Flow is based on the concept of providing proper attention to challenging activities in order to make them meaningful. Some of the nuance is lost here simply because the book has been building up to this point, and also because Dr. Mihaly, in most cases, is a lot more eloquent than I am. But the point remains. Many of our modern day forms of entertainment require very little investment from us and only make us feel good or feel enjoyment, when in fact, all they are really making us do is feel a small amount of pleasure for a small amount of time. Then it eventually culminates into a buzz of nothing, or rather a feeling of numbness until we wake up the next day, go to work, and do it all over again. I, for one, find myself questioning this pace of life more and more by the day, largely because when I really pay attention, I find that it doesn't actually make me happy. It doesn't actually make me feel good or satisfied. And I'm tired of not feeling good or satisfied. As they like to say, I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Collectively, we are wasting each year the equivalent of millions of years of human consciousness. Dr. Mihaly states as a strong reproof to this way of life, as a strong reproof to this way of living. What we really need is something more complex to spend our time on, something that will help us grow, stimulate new ideas, creativity, and the like. The energy that we are wasting here that could be used in this way is squandered on patterns of stimulation that only mimic reality. Patterns of stimulation that only mimic reality. Patterns of stimulation that only mimic reality. What a line. And I get it. I mean, I love video games. I love fantasy role-playing video games that allow me to exist in this world or exist in another world, play a character, live a different reality, try things that I can't try in real life. And it's just great to get lost and to feel. I mean, all of those kind of things, but eventually, this constant state of existing there just starts to feel stale. It just really starts to feel stale because it's creating something that isn't actually tangible in reality. It's just a video game or it's just a story, but ultimately, just mimicking reality isn't the solution, but actually creating something that you can share with others and create community with is really what satisfies. And so I ask myself, what's it for? Like, what's it all for? And sometimes when I'm feeling really positive, I realize that it's all for my enjoyment. I really enjoy spending my time this way. Like, yeah. Like, why would I spend my time any other way when I'm enjoying spending my time this way so much? But then slowly it starts to creep in that I don't really feel as good as I'm convincing myself that I feel. And when this goes on long enough, and when I start to feel negative, I realize that it's not actually making me happy. Instead, it's just making someone else money. That's really what it's all for, to make someone else money. Dr. Mihaly says this too. Most jobs and many leisure activities, especially those involving the passive consumption of mass media, are not designed to make us feel happy and strong. They're not designed to make us feel happy and strong. Their purpose is to make money for someone else. And listen to this, listen closely. If we allow them to, they can suck out the marrow of our lives, leaving only feeble husk. They can suck out the marrow of our lives, leaving only feeble husk. Now think about that for a second. Like, this is exactly it. Why does that sense of emptiness occur? Why does that low-grade tension exist? It's because all of this passive consumption, all of these patterns of stimulation that only mimic reality, all of these watching actors do mock meaningful actions is sucking the marrow out of actually living. And we're just feeble husk going on with our lives, following the pattern, not actually living. And I'm tired of not actually living, and you should be too. So, I mean, just think about it on YouTube with like the Mr. Beastification of YouTube. The Mr. Beastification of YouTube videos. Like this video design where the scene has to shift every 2 seconds, and it's got to be so busy that you don't even have time to really process what's going on because your mind is just all over the place. And now, in order to be successful, you have to have an entire film crew, entire editing crew, so you can stay on schedule and like give the algorithm what it wants. Then the progression to YouTube Shorts. I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm not on YouTube just to suck away all of the brain cells that I have left. I mean, I'm on this platform to learn something, to watch meaningful content, take that information, reflect on it, and apply it to my life in some meaningful way. It's just exhausting after a while. Always being fed all of this stimulation. It's just exhausting, always having to keep up. It's just exhausting because, well, it's just not real. On the topic of wasting time, how much free time are you wasting? How much free time are you wasting? If you're tired of feeling low, if you're tired of feeling this low-grade emptiness all the time, then I suggest some other way to spend your time. On this channel, I'll be posting more thoughtful videos about emotional intelligence, emotional well-being, habit building, etc. Please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you along with me on this journey as I grow out of this numbness that I'm conditioned to by the machines of society. And I'd love to see you grow out of that numbness as well. And that's it for this one. My name is Mike Iveson, and I'm an American living in remote northern Japan. And I will see you on the next one.